Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvie Sidhu, and I am the Senior Marketing and Technical Sales Manager for Nutraceuticals at Universe Solutions. The topic of discussion today is simplifying the microbiome and unlocking opportunities for prebiotics. The field of microbiome has rapidly advanced in the last few decades, and the topic is of great interest to both scientists and consumers. The world of nutraceuticals is growing as well. It is one of the fastest growing consumer retail categories. So the idea here is for brand to embrace the microbiome and center their approach around the developing needs of their consumer. Today, we will cover the microbiome and its metabolites, microbiome modulation via the biotics, we'll talk about that briefly, defining prebiotics and symbiotics, harnessing the power of short-chain fructo-oligosaccharides, and synergistic yet simple product ideas and concepts. Let's define the gut microbiome. What is the gut microbiome? It is a complex ecosystem of 100 trillion microorganisms that reside in the human gastrointestinal tract. These microorganisms are called microbiota and include bacteria, virus, fungi, and archaea. It is believed that 99% of these microorganisms are bacterial. Did you know that the number of bacteria alone can significantly outnumber the human cells within an individual? It's fascinating, isn't it? This microbiome also has a symbiotic relationship with the host and plays a crucial role in both the maintenance of health and pathogenesis of disease. One of the most important roles of the gut microbiota is to catabolize dietary fibers that are not completely hydrolyzed by the host enzymes during digestion. With the complexity and dynamism of microbiome and its innovations, it is key to understand what is at stake in this field. And because it's so complex, Kellogg's actually commissioned a report that was a collaboration between a marine biologist and a medical expert in Australia. And the goal of this coral reef analogy was to educate Australians that their gut is a living ecosystem. It is as unique as one's fingerprint. Go check it out if you can. I believe this is a video game that takes you on a journey to the gut microbiome, and you have to get rid of the bad pathogens. Very interesting. A few facts about the gut microbiome. Diversity is key. What does diversity mean? It just means that different species coexist because they all have different roles to play. The composition and diversity of the microbiota varies between individuals, and it is dramatically influenced by diet, lifestyle, and drugs, for example, antibiotics. Over 80% of body's immune cells reside in the gut. This is a very key point. The biotics are a great supplemental strategy to modulate the gut microbiota for various positive benefits. And potentially, symbiotics have stronger effects on the gut microbiota than either pre or probiotics alone. However, compared to probiotics or prebiotics, the number of product launches on symbiotics is small. Let's talk about the microbial metabolites. What that means is the byproducts of the interaction of the good gut microbes and the food that they consume. The main important of intestinal bacterial fermentation of dietary fiber are short-chain fatty acids, such as acetate, butyrate, and propionate. The amount and the type of prebiotic consumed has dramatic effects on the composition of short-chain fatty acids. The other metabolites include vitamins, hormones, neurotransmitters, including some of the happy hormones, and then there are so many other factors that are yet to be identified. Our microbiome is in constant conversation with our organs. There are several potential mechanisms through which it provides various health benefits that are physical, that are mental, emotional, and even cognitive. These are termed the gut axis. The gut axis includes, but it's not limited to, the gut-brain axis, one of the most studied gut-heart axis that has several cardiovascular benefits, the gut-liver axis, the gut-kidney axis, the gut adipose axis, which is the key to weight management, the gut skin axis, and the gut bone axis. There's also the gut lung axis here that's missing from this image that impacts allergies and other respiratory disorders like asthma. Now, I did talk about gut-brain axis. Now, take some time. This slide depicts what the gut-brain axis looks like. And this is very interesting. If you look at the gut microbiota, when it munches on the dietary fiber, let's say prebiotics in this case, there are short-chain fatty acids, which are the byproducts. They are released. Once they're released, they are absorbed in the gut as long as there is favorable conditions. What happens when they're absorbed? There's stronger gut barrier. There is increased mucosal immunity that ultimately transfers to the peripheral organs. Very, very important piece. The interaction that these byproducts and their metabolites they have with the receptors, they release various chemicals, including neurotransmitters GABA that helps you relax, and serotonin, the happy hormone. And these interactions, they have various impact on the body. It also includes inflammation, body weight, energy, metabolic health. So there is direct and indirect signals to the brain. And what do these direct and indirect signals to the brain do? They impact our emotional health, our mental health, and our cognitive health. When you look at the diet and supplementation strategy that can help modulate the gut microbiota, what does that mean? It just means that you are making changes to the existing pathways for better health benefits. There are 4 important ones that come to mind: probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, and symbiotics. Let's talk about prebiotics. According to the International Scientific Association of Probiotics and Prebiotics, a nonprofit agency, a prebiotic is a substrate that is selectively utilized by host microorganisms, which is your gut microbes, conferring a health benefit. Bacteria are picky, microbes are picky. They selectively take the prebiotic that they like and then produce the metabolites that have all these health benefits. Selective utilization of prebiotic, chiefly human milk oligosaccharides. There are other oligosaccharides, fructooligosaccharides, galactooligosaccharides, inulin. There is MOS, there is ZOS. There's also polyunsaturated fatty acids and CLAs that also come in this category. Increasingly, there are polyphenols that are also being identified as substrates that have prebiotic effect. In addition to prebiotics, there are also other non-prebiotics that the bacteria can selectively utilize for health benefits. Let's talk about prebiotics more. What do? They feed the microbiota, they balance the microbiome, and they increase the number of beneficial microorganisms. If that prebiotic is fiber, now this is a very important fact. Let's go back to the previous slide. Only a subset of dietary fibers act as prebiotics. Not all soluble fiber is prebiotics, and not all prebiotics are fiber. So the prebiotics that also happen to be fiber, of course, they help with digestive regularity. They increase beneficial gut bacteria. They increase now. If there's just probiotics in your diet, you will still have short-chain fatty acid as metabolites when they're selectively consuming on what we're eating. However, when there's presence of prebiotics, there is a rapid increase in short-chain fatty acids. And a rapid increase in short-chain fatty acid means you're amplifying the health benefits. There's positive impact on the gastrointestinal immunity, which means there's positive impact on overall immunity. There is what prebiotics, especially some of the soluble fiber prebiotics, they reduce the pH in the gut. When the pH is reduced, it makes the gut more inhabitable for pathogenic bacteria. And it improves nutrient absorption, especially for minerals like calcium, magnesium, and iron. These are some of the benefits of adding prebiotics to the diet. When you look at the global prebiotics market, because this is where the money is, it is projected to be $6.94 billion this year, forecasted to be $21.3 billion in the next 8 years, growing at a rate of 14.9%. That's massive. That's a big number. Let's talk symbiotics now that we have mentioned what prebiotics are. In very simple terms, symbiotics are probiotics together with prebiotics that amplify the benefits of probiotics. Now, it's not just as easy as having symbiotics. There are synergistic symbiotics and complementary symbiotics. What we're going to talk about today is complementary symbiotics, where you actually have prebiotics that your bacteria can selectively consume and have a health benefit, have various health benefits, in fact. If you look at the category positioning of how the consumer products globally in the market are when it comes to probiotics or prebiotics, I think probiotics over the years have done a fantastic job in terms of laying the foundation that gut health is not just limited to the digestive system. It is overall health. So, of course, in terms of popularity and maturity, the gut health products are very popular. Gut health includes everything from gut permeability to regularity. And then there's immune health, because it just comes hand in hand when you think of probiotics and prebiotics. Active nutrition is a growing category where we talk about, think of sports nutrition 2.0 in terms of performance, in terms of recovery for all age groups. Weight management, there's a lot of health benefits that both prebiotics and probiotics have on metabolic factors in human physiology. Healthy aging, a very happy side effect of both prebiotics and prebiotic interaction. Symbiotics is a growing category. Now, there are some few categories that are underutilized. A big one is cognitive health, because there is scientific evidence in all of these categories, all of these health segments. Multivitamins and minerals, I think that is just something that is very simple and underutilized, especially when you factor in prebiotics that can increase the uptake of vitamin D3 and minerals like calcium, magnesium, and iron. Mood, stress, and anxiety. There is a rapidly growing category of psychobiotics, which includes certain probiotics and selective prebiotics that fit really well in this category. Skin health, which is part of beauty from within category, and bone health, again, from the, when you think about increased bioavailability of calcium and increased uptake of vitamin D3. Let's talk about the most studied and used prebiotics. And of course, that's oligosaccharides. And under oligosaccharides is human milk oligosaccharides. We, as humans, our first interaction with prebiotics is in the form of mother's milk, which is abundant in human milk oligosaccharides. And what that does is it helps develop the gut microbiome that we keep throughout the life, that we keep with us throughout the life. It is also noted that for the first 3 years, the microbiome in humans develops rapidly, and that is the structure, the population, the diversity of the microbiome. That is our fingerprint that stays with us for the rest of our life. The other oligosaccharides are fructooligosaccharides, FOS, galacto-oligosaccharides, also known as GOS, and inulin, one of the most popular prebiotic. Let's talk about FOS. Today, I would like to present to you a short-chain fructooligosaccharide called Fossence. It is derived from cane sugar. It has a shorter chain length, or a degree of polymerization, between 3 to 5. What does that mean? the chemical structure is very important because it gets readily fermented early in the gut. When it gets readily fermented early in the gut, there's an acute short-chain fatty acid production. And it's non-digestible. It does not stay in the gut for a very long time. What does that mean? That there is minimal to no discomfort, so good tolerability. It is, of course, a pre-dietary fiber and a non-digestible carbohydrate. Calories are very low, similar to other soluble prebiotic fibers, 2 kcal per gram. And because of its chain length, again, the chemical structure, it is inherently sweet. Depending on the grade of the product, it can be anywhere from 35% to 70% the sweetness of sucrose. When the product is sweet, of course, we think about the glycemic index. However, in this case, it has 0 to low glycemic index, depending on the grade. There is scientific evidence that Fossence, short-chain FOS, may help promote the growth of beneficial bacteria, beneficial bifidogenic bacteria, maintain regular bowel movements, increase mineral absorption, for example, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Every time after you eat, you have to think about the postprandial glycemia. Fossence helps with attenuation of that, and it supports immune health. It comes in 3 different grades. Let's talk about the powder grade 95. It's 95% fiber, 95% FOS on dry basis. It's 35 to 40% as sweet as sugar, and it has a glycemic index of 0. There's also a liquid 95, which is in this form of syrup. It's 95% fiber on dry basis and has a glycemic index of 0. It's roughly 40% the sweetness of sugar. In terms of functional properties of these both powder and liquid products, they provide moisture support. They help with binding. They have great mouthfeel, good texture. They reduce water separation or syneresis. Because of the sweet taste, it helps mask off notes and enhances the flavor. It can be used across various applications, including bakery, dairy, frozen dairy, cereals and energy bar, dessert and confectionery, and supplements, which include powders, capsules, tablets, gummies, soft gels, probably more. There is also a 3rd grade of Fossence, which is only 55% FOS on dry basis. And the advantage of this product here is it's 70% the sweetness of sugar. So when would this product be used? When we're talking about sugar reduction or sugar replacement. For a product to be used as a replacement of sugar, bulking is really important. FOS provides bulking. It provides good mouthfeel. It provides texture, consistency. It is easy to mix. It has excellent water solubility, both cold and warm water. And one very important thing to note is it has synergistic interaction with gums, be it pectin, xanthan gum, or carrageenan. It works synergistically with those gums to provide a good, creamy mouthfeel depending on the product. The glycemic index of this is less than 20. The goal here, when you're talking about Fossence 55, actually even Fossence 95, both powder and liquid, consumers are looking for less sugar in food products because all of them are sweet. They all come from cane sugar and they're inherently sweet. We want natural solutions to reduce sugar in order to stand out in the marketplace. And then there's Keto Diet that has sparked new sweet innovations. If you look at some of the Mintel findings, 70% of adults in China think they need to increase their dietary fiber intake. Totally makes sense to use fiber as sugar. 48% of US adults agree they would like to eat more fiber. And 45% of consumers in UK perceive artificial sweeteners to be bad for gut health, which increases the chances of acceptance of using prebiotic dietary fiber as a sugar replacement. In 2020, it has been done. In 2020, 17% of global food and beverage launches with a low or reduced sugar claim contained a prebiotic ingredient. In my opinion, this category is severely underutilized. Now let's move on to the macro opportunities for the microbiota. Probiotics, like I mentioned, have done a fantastic job in terms of consumer interest, consumer acceptance. They are dominating the category. However, I believe there is still a chance for both prebiotics and symbiotic products to be fully utilized. Let's talk about some of the convenient product categories where prebiotics and symbiotics opportunities will be really impactful. First off, we have symbiotic yogurt, a yogurt with added prebiotic fiber that already has probiotics, sugar out and fiber in. If you look at the data that we have from Mintel, it's a fairly new data, the percentage of consumers who would find yogurt and yogurt drinks with added fiber appealing is pretty high. In Europe, 38% of people in France want that. 44% consumers said yes to that in Germany. 51% in Spain, 55% in Italy, and 65% in Poland. That's a big number. When you add prebiotics to an already probiotic added yogurt, you help reduce caloric load with added sweetness. You can completely remove sugar or cut sugar into half. As previously mentioned, Fossence works synergistically with gums. It adds to the viscosity, better, creamier, thicker mouthfeel that everyone expects from the yogurt. It lowers syneresis. There'll be less water separation. And you can use as low or as high as 6% input of the recipe, depending on how much fiber you would like to add on the nutritional panel. Ready-to-mix powder, a very fast-growing category. Stick packs. Let's look at a formula that can be a very potent symbiotic, 1 sachet serving a day. You can add as high as 3 grams of short-chain fructose oligosaccharides in this sachet with a probiotic. And to amplify the effect, add a polyphenol blend of 2 of everyone's favorite things, red wine extract and cocoa extract that are rich in polyphenols. Prebiotic dark chocolate is another category where you can use Fossence syrup to reduce sugar and add fiber. For no process change, for no flavor or taste alteration, the input is recommended to be only 5%. The functional advantages of adding Fossence here would be an improved mouthfeel, both in milk chocolate and dark chocolate, in fact, improved flavor delivery, no process change, and may I add, it is also heat stable. Another category where Fossence can really make an impact is protein, sports nutrition category. It can be a low-carb alternative to maltodextrin, can be a functional filler that adds both bulk and sweetens the product, brings prebiotic goodness, can be a cleaner label compared to maltodextrin. It's keto-friendly, it blends easily, mixes easily, and the input of Fossence in this product can be as high as 20%, which will bring you, if it's a 25 gram of scoop, there'll be 5 gram of prebiotic fiber in there. Functional prebiotic coffee, why not? Prebiotic to start your day. As low or as high as 7% input of Foss Powder 95 that can be added to coffee pods, instant coffee, or filter coffee. It will not change the taste. RTD beverage, that is one of the fastest growing category in terms of dollars and acceptance. You can use Fossence for both adding prebiotics and reducing sugar. So this is a symbiotic sparkling water, pina colada flavor, no sugar added, has a great flavor profile. The sweetness comes directly from Fossence, and you can add almost 5 grams of short chain Foss per 8 fluid ounces, which would be your daily dose of prebiotic fiber in 1 can. This is a very simple yet very effective formula for superior absorption for bone health. Phos can be added to the existing calcium and vitamin D tablets to increase calcium absorption. And prebiotics, as I mentioned before, they help increase 7-DHC or provitamin D3 biosynthesis. So it'll be a more effective formula for increased bioavailability of both the vitamin and mineral. Now, the functional aspects of prebiotics are not just limited to humans, they extend to our furry favorite four-legged animals as well. Here's an example of a symbiotic pet chew to provide benefits of prebiotics to pets. It supports digestion. It may help support digestion. It may help support a healthy gut microbiota. It may improve mineral absorption in animals as well. And mental data suggests that pet owners prioritize the digestive health well-being of their pets. Some of the data is 55% of US pet owners would like to purchase food or treats that support healthy digestion. 76% of pet owners in Germany agree that digestive health is essential for pets' overall health. And 61% of pet owners in the UK are interested in products that support digestive health. That's a win-win. Now, this is a very well thought after product. I think, in my opinion, there is need for added sweeteners that are outside the natural, artificial, or the rare sugar category. So here is a great example of blending Fossence powder with stevia. 5% Fossence powder 95 added with stevia. It will not have a big impact on the current taste and flavor profile of the product. It's highly soluble, and you'll still have a natural sweetener with the power of prebiotics. I believe this is the last product example. That is a prebiotic cereal bar. 10% FOS, 95% syrup, which will add fiber to the bar, along with the prebiotic goodness. The functional advantages in a bar is it has great binding capabilities. It improves flavor delivery, depending on if you have any botanicals or any bitter tasting ingredients, it will help mask them as well. And of course, there is sugar replacement potential. In conclusion, prebiotics and symbiotics are a fast-growing category. Symbiotic approaches may be more effective to modulate the gut microbiota and differentiate your brand. Communication and education on the health benefits of prebiotics is essential, and demystifying prebiotic names is also very important. Great example is short-chain fructooligosaccharides. It comes from sugarcane. It is natural. Help demystify those names because your consumer is ready to learn more. Versatility of short-chain FOS can translate into innovative nutraceuticals and functional foods. All right, let's move on to questions.